Hey, this is Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and I'm going to show you how to play the round setup and a few turns of our new trick-taking tableau building game Origin Story, which is all about creating the origin story for yourself as a superhero or potentially a supervillain. This is what the box looks like. So this is kind of these all feature new characters that don't exist in any existing comic book intellectual property, and that's largely because you are telling their origin story rather than using the story that we already know for existing comic book characters. So what you see here is one of the 5 player mats in the game. This is a 1 to 5 player game, and during the initial setup for the entire game, each player gets 2 of these reference cards, and on the other side of these reference cards are the heroes that you might become in round 5. You're going to choose one of these heroes in round 5 and become that hero, but for most of the game, they just serve as a reference card, and you can look at them throughout the game and potentially plan ahead for the hero that you're going to become. At this beginning of the game, you start with 1 stamina, so I have 1 stamina token here that I've put into this little box, and I have a slightly asymmetric character. This character, Sylvia, has an ability here. Whenever I win a trick, if I activate this ability, then I can potentially use that ability. So we're gonna follow these steps for the round setup. So the dealer, we're gonna pretend this is a 3-player game. The dealer deals 8 cards to each of the 3 players. So there's one, so those are my opponents, and I have my own hand of 8 cards here. Looks like this. I have not staged this, so this is gonna be completely random what these cards look like. Here we go. So I have my hand of 8 cards here. There are 4 suits in the game, and it is essentially a standard deck of cards, except for there aren't face cards. Their cards are numbered 1 through 13. And hearts, or love, is the trump suit in this game. And also on the side of the box, you can see right here, you can see the name of those different suits. We have brains, speed, strength, and love as the trump suit. Okay, so I have my hand of cards. There's step 2 here in setup, only happens during round 3. There's an event that happens in round 3, one of 18 different events that can happen. We're not gonna do that because we're gonna pretend this is round 1. And then step 3 says, in rounds 1 through 4, gain 1 stamina. So I'm gonna gain 1 more stamina. So I'll start the first round with 2 stamina. And I also draw 3 story cards. So there's a big deck of these story cards, and this is what I'm gonna be using to build my tableau, to build my engine, to make me better and more versatile at engine building, or at trick taking in this game. And so I have these 3 story cards. They follow kind of superhero comic book tropes like power, super suits, allies, and I have some other examples here. We have gadgets and backstories and talents. A bunch of different types of cards. The art in this game is by the amazing Clementine Campardo. Oh, did I miss a card? How many cards do I have? There's my 8 cards. Yeah, I was missing 1 card there. So there are the 8 cards. So I have these 3 story cards. I drew these 3 story cards. I get to pick 1 to put in chapter 1 right here of my story. I'm gonna choose flight. And actually I can look at my hand of cards while deciding this. But I think I'm interested in taking flight here. I love that as a superpower in general. These remaining cards, they just get discarded. They're out of the game at this point. All cards in this game are discarded face down. My opponents are going to be doing the same thing. I won't simulate what they're doing, but I do have hands of cards for them. Step 4, and this is all happening simultaneously, as you can note here. I'm gonna charge abilities with stamina. So I have 2 stamina tokens here. I have a bunch of different stamina abilities that I could charge up, and so basically I'm gonna look at my hand of cards and decide, okay, based on my hand of cards and based on one other decision that I'll make in a moment, I think that I want to put maybe 1 stamina here on Sylvia. This says, whenever I win a trick, I can reach for the stars. I can remove 1 stamina to gain 1 victory point. A lot of the cards give you victory points. You're not just gaining points from winning tricks or even losing tricks in this game. You may remove 1 stamina to gain 1 victory point and give that trick to any opponent who has won at least 1 trick. So this is a powerful ability if you're trying not to win tricks, essentially, or if you're trying to avoid a certain trick that you won that maybe conflicts with a story card that you have. The other stamina, just for the sake of example, I'm going to put over here on flight. And this is on my turn, I may remove 1 stamina to discard 1 card and then draw 1 card. The last decision we make, and it's tied to some of these other decisions, it's simultaneous as well, is to reveal your alignment. So the choice in this game, each round, is to try to be a hero. And if I'm a hero, I'm going to gain 1 victory point per trick that I won. And there are going to be 8 tricks. There are 8 cards, so we're going to play 8 tricks. Or I can flip this over and declare that I'm going to be a villain. The villains are trying to win 0 tricks, and if they pull that off, they're going to gain 4 victory points. This is a simultaneous decision that I'm going to make with all other players. Again, I'm not going to simulate my opponents here, but I am going to say that I have what I feel like is a pretty strong hand. I have some high brains cards, and I have 3 of the love suit. So I'm going to declare that I'm going to try to be a hero this round. All that happens at the beginning of the round. It happens simultaneously, so it goes pretty fast. And the last thing I'm going to show here today is a few turns. So let's say that I am the leader of this trick, this hand, this round. I have the leader token. And so I'm going to lead one of these cards. I'm going to play this card. I'm going to play Brains 13. So all other players, they need to, if they have a Brains card, and they don't have a story card that lets them avoid playing a card or gives them some special ability, they need to play a card. Actually, so this player does not have a Brains card, so they'll get to play another card. This is actually a very strong hero hand. They're going to jump in here. They're short-suited on Brains, so because they don't have a Brains card, they are allowed to play another type of card. So we're going to have this player play, say, a 3 of love there. And then this player, they do have some of these cards, so they're going to play a low card here. And so in this trick, this was the lead suit. Players tried to follow suit. This player didn't have any cards to follow. This player did, so they played. But the 3 of love is the trump suit, so this player wins the trick. So they win this trick. They'll keep that over here. So this player then leads off. I'm going to just randomize what card they're going to lead. They'll lead off with a 10 of speed. And this player will follow if they have a speed card. They do, so they'll play with that speed card. And then we'll come over to me. And it says, on your turn, I may remove 1 stamina to discard 1 card, then draw 1 card. So right now, the best speed card I have is a 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this 9. I'm going to use this ability. So I'll activate this ability. Whenever you spend stamina, it just returns to your supply. You can only charge stuff at the beginning of the round, but every round you're going to get a little bit more stamina, or in most rounds you're going to get more stamina. So I'll use that stamina. It will remain there for me to charge up in the next round, charge up abilities. So I'm going to discard this card, and I'm going to draw another card, and I drew this is great. So I am now short-suited. I drew a love suit. I now don't have a speed card to play, so I can play any card that I want. Now I'm just going to play that card that I just gained. So I'm going to gain this card here. And one little thing I could do here, I don't think there's a need for me to do it, so I won this trick. I do have a win a trick ability. I may remove 1 stamina to gain 1 victory point and give that trick to any opponent who has won at least 1 trick. So the reason I might do this is if I had a story card that said, that I had activated, and the story card says, try not to win any speed cards, then I might use this ability to spend that stamina and give this to another player who had already won a trick. And that way, I still get the victory point as a hero, essentially, for winning the trick. Essentially, because it says 1 victory point there, and yet I still would get the benefit of that hypothetical story card that I'm talking about. But in this case, I don't want to do that. I want to win this trick, and so I won this trick. Let's do one more for sake of example. I am leading off on this trick. I'll lead actually, since we have some perfect information here, I know that this player doesn't have any brains, so let's just lead. Let's lead with love here. And in this game, you can lead with love even if it hasn't been broken. But in this particular example, it has been broken. Unfortunately, this player has really high love cards, so they'll play the 13 here. This player, if they have a love, they need to play it. They do have a love, and so this hypothetical second player will win that trick as well. And that is a few turns, including the round-to-round steps of Origin Story. There are some end-of-round steps, but mostly they were just saying gain your points from any end-of-round abilities, activate any end-of-round abilities, and also if you're a hero, you're going to gain 1 victory point per trick won. If you're a villain, gain 4 victory points if you won 0 tricks. Then you pass the dealer token clockwise and continue. And any stamina, again, returns to your supply. So yeah, that is Origin Story. If you have any questions in the comments below, let me know. Thanks.